two brand new chainsaws to compare with each other today. On the right here, we've got the Makita 20-inch 500mm UC030G. Now this isn't out in the States yet, so I'm not sure what the number is going to be, but if I know the number by the time this video is edited, it'll be just here. And this is the new Milwaukee M18  x2. It's a 36 volt tool. It's an M36. And this is the M18 F2CHS 20802F. If you're in this part of the world, if you're in America, it will also be this number. Now these are both battery chainsaws, of course. They're both 36 volt chainsaws. They are different though in the CC rating. Not that they have CCs, of course, because they're not petrol, they are battery. Both going to be using tabless 8 amp hour batteries. 2 times 18 volt at 8 amp hour is 36 8 amp hour. And we're using a 40 volt max, which is actually 36 volt nominal, same as the Milwaukee. So as well as having the same exact batteries, the same exact bar length, they also have the exact same chain, an Oregon 95 TXL 0.325 pitch, 050 gauge, or what's that, 1.3 millimeter. So they are identical saws, apart from the Milwaukee, according to Milwaukee, is the equivalent of a 70cc petrol engine, and the Makita is the equivalent of a 50cc. So let's go test them. I'm sure I can find something to chop down over there. Right, we're going to start off in the lowest speed, and we're just going to start off cutting some thin stuff, and then we'll move on up. Let's do it. Right, let's whack her in full whack. Well, I know who's winning the speed race there. Okay, full whack, let's go. Did that beautifully. Let's try it on the lowest speed. Try a bit of a plunge cut. I'm just going to jam this straight in here and see how we go. Full speed. Well, they both did that pretty good. The Makita stalled, but there wasn't really much in it. It all depends on how much pressure I was putting down it. I was able to get the Makita much more vertical because it was much lighter, but it was a little bit trickier to get started, as you saw, bouncing around a bit more, but that's because this is running at more than double the speed of that Milwaukee. Right, we've got it on full whack. So with all the cuts you've seen so far, plus a few more that no doubt didn't make it into the video, we are 1 bar down. Pretty good. We are down to 2 bars on each battery, roughly halfway, probably a little bit more. Let's keep going until we flatten this thing. I am now going to check different battery types. Well, it's been interesting using these two tools and comparing them because they're a lot sort of closer than I thought, but also they have their own sort of ups and downs, and it's hard to pick an overall winner between the two of these, to be honest. If we're going for comfort and weight, well, the Makita is a more streamlined tool, a more well-balanced tool, and significantly lighter. You know, we're looking at 1.2 kgs in their current configuration, which is very noticeable. When you pick this thing up, this thing is heavy, but it does the job well. Now, of course, you could put smaller batteries on them, which it does quite well with. It does better with smaller batteries and other different amp-hour batteries than the Makita. The Makita, much more noticeable drop-off as you go down from the 8 amp-hour down to the 2, whereas this, didn't notice it so much, so it handled it a bit better. When it comes to cutting speed, the Makita significantly quicker. The Makita chain speed on full whack is more than double the Milwaukee, so you really notice that when you pull the trigger. But the Milwaukee just happily plods away, cuts through, and is probably a bit less likely to stall than the Makita. The Makita is good through cross cuts. As soon as you start angling things and going across the grain in weird angles, it struggles a bit more and is more likely to cut out. But both tools won't stall too much if you just let the tool do the work and you don't push them too hard. It's not a major when they do stall though, of course, because, you know, it just cuts out and you just pull the trigger, you know, maybe back your chain off a bit, pull the trigger again, away you go. It's a half-second problem, you know. As for the amount of cuts, pretty hard to test because it's hard to get the same consistent density in the wood that you're cutting, the same diameter, all that sort of stuff. But from what I did, I think the Milwaukee chewed through the batteries a lot quicker than the Makita. That may be because it actually takes longer to cut, so the tool's running longer, draining the batteries longer than the Makita, which has got the faster chain speed and so whips through it a bit quicker. That's one explanation anyway. This one also rated 70cc, maybe bigger motor, it's using more power to do the same job. So there's lots of other, you know, lots of factors, but if you want to get more cuts, I think the Makita will be a better option. Plus it's only using the one battery. This, you've got to charge 2 batteries every time, so you've got to have double the amount of batteries to keep the thing running than you do with the Makita. But they are both cool chainsaws, and it's cool to see how far battery chainsaw technology has come. They're getting close to being able to take on the petrol ones. Some people will say, yeah, they're better than the petrol ones. There's nothing wrong with them at all. And I agree to a certain extent. If I was cutting all day, every day for a job, I think I would still go petrol. I know this is basically a cordless power tool channel, but you have to have a lot of spare batteries. If you really want the super grunt and you want a big massive chainsaw, well, unfortunately these ones aren't quite there yet. I know a lot of guys want a 80 volt version of a Makita, which could be pretty mean, but weight wise going to get pretty damn heavy if you've got 3.6 kgs worth of batteries on it alone. That is the Makita 20 inch and the Milwaukee 20 inch. Which one would you get? I mean, if you've already got Milwaukee, then get the Milwaukee. If you've already got the Makita, get the Makita. If you were starting from scratch, well, I don't know, you'd have to look at these systems and see what other tools you want basically to go with them, because they're pretty similar. They're the same but different, you know. So if I were to choose only one, I better get that out of shot. Which one would it be? Ooh, I think because of... I guess I'm going to have to go with this one.